Study of seasonal variation in the water quality of river Ganga at Garhmukteshwar, Uttar Pradesh. Now proceed with the introduction. The most natural liquid in the universe is water. Water has special features such as dissolution and transport of the accumulated suspension with a wide variety of properties and is the primary solvent of this marvelous world. A number of studies have been proven that a total of 60% added foodstuff comes from the irrigation crops and around 275 million hectares are being used in the several agriculture forms. Presently, there are several issues are arising just because of water quality, and obviously it may hamper terrestrial as well as aquatic faunal life. These are well known for essential life supporter, therefore changes in their frequency may positively influence ecological services. The certain aquatic factors like pH redox potential, nutrients load and annual temperature have a serious effect on its functions. As a result of water-related illness and floods, nearly 6 to 8 million people die every year. This water is processed for healthy consumption and other uses. As a result of pollution, water contains microorganisms, inorganic, organic material, radionuclides, and disinfectants. Inorganic chemical contain a higher proportion than organic chemical as toxin in the potable water. And the inorganic compounds are heavy metals in mineral form. Heavy metals affect the normal operation in the human organ and nervous system. From the last few years, major focus was on heavy metals such as lead, magnesium, arsenic, copper, nickel and zinc due to health concern. Furthermore, traces of metals such as chromium and cadmium are associated with cardiovascular disease, kidney-related disease, neurocognitive disease. The physical and mental growth is known to be delayed in infant, while mercury can result in serious skin and cancer poisoning and damage to the kidney and liver. Scientific procedures and instruments for the assessment of water contaminants have been developed globally. The analysis of various parameters including pH, turbidity, conductivity, total suspended solid, total solvents, total organic and heavy metals, depositions in atmosphere-based deposition pond, increased dissolved oxygen, higher concentration of metal and organic compounds, and either elevated or low level of pH, higher chloride level and high dissolved total solid is responsible for the decrease in general use. As a holy and sacred river of India, there are millions of people are blessed by river Ganga. In the recent decades, due to heavy pollution, it is facing a great challenge of water quality. Hence, a systemic management study was planned to investigate about the present water quality and physicochemical parameter of Ganga water at Brijghat at Garhmukteshwar. We proceed with the material and methods. Here proceed with the description of the study site. The present study was carried out at the different ghat at Brijghat Garhmukteshwar, which is situated at river Ganga in Uttar Pradesh, India. Based on the suitability of sample collection, the water sample were collected from the 3 different locations at Brijghat Garhmukteshwar from the 3 different climate season, like pre-monsoon season from March to May, and in monsoon season from June to August, and in post-monsoon season from December to February. Here proceed with the sampling procedure and preservation techniques. Moreover, sampling was done at high degree of precautions as sample container was immersed completely into the lotic water and keep waiting to the complete fulfillment of sample containers. Once sample containers is filled with sample, each container was tightly fitted with the cork sealed, hence the probability of bubbling was taken into the consideration and its affinities was minimized effectively. The collected sample was stored and transferred into the refrigerator up to the analysis of sample. Data handling and statistical analysis. We processed collected water sample in an ideal and standardized condition. The descriptive statics of data was scored in MS Excel file 2019 home and students license, and mean and standard deviation SD was present in the result at the appropriate place. We have chosen chi-square statics test, and SPSS version was also used for data analysis. The univariate data was analyzed separately and each Ghat was considered as a factor. Here we proceed with the result and discussion. The collective minimal mean temperature of different Ghat of water was observed as 17.45 to 0.15 variation SD, while a drastic changing pattern was noted in case of optimum annual mean temperature. The optimum mean temperature of air was recorded as 35.92 to 0.53 variation in degree Celsius SD, with an average annual mean temperature of air was 26.38 with a variation of 1.50 degrees Celsius SD. Throughout the study period, the annual mean temperature was observed as 26.38 with a variation of 1.50 degrees Celsius SD from the different Ghat of Brijghat during the sampling period. Here we have the table of result for the air temperature, water depth, turbidity obtained month-wise from January to December month. Next is the summary on the physicochemical analysis of Brijghat, Uttar Pradesh. It contains physical properties like turbidity and appearance, chemical properties like pH, alkalinity, and it is done in the summer season, pre-monsoon season, and in the winter season. Is a distinctive characteristic of water bodies. It was found that the depth was recorded as lowest within the range of 2.15 with a variation of 0.62 SD meter during the month of January. It shows that the January month is having low amount of water at Brijghat, probably due to the scarcity of water during winter season. It was estimated that turbidity was playing a significant role in the determination of physicochemical properties at Brijghat water. We found that the turbidity was range from 2.10 with a variation of 0.52 SD as minimum of 3.80 with the variation of 0.61 SD as maximum. The metabolic activity of aquatic species was determined by pH concentration. Hence, pH concentration exhibit a remarkable importance in metabolism of aquatic species. The result of pH measurement shows that the pH value was ranged from 7.7 to 7.0. In the consideration of major characteristic, pH is considered as one of the most important characteristic which plays and also determines the floral and faunal diversity of the aquatic bodies. The result of pH measurement shows that the pH value was ranged with an average of 6.41 with the variation of 1.29 SD as a key determination factor of physicochemical properties of Brijghat water. The range of pH was favoring for the floral and faunal diversity. Here we have the seasonal variation in the nutrient concentration in the water at Brijghat. During the summer season, ammonia and ammonium are found at the higher concentration, but during the time of rainy season, it caused good proportion of decomposition and obviously it accelerates the process of oxidation of NH4 to NH3. In the entire conversion, the temperature has a significant contribution and also playing major role in the decomposition or conversion of the other domestic and commercial effluents. Here we have the mean number of measured parameter with statistical inference, and the parameter measured are pH, dissolved oxygen, TSS, TDS, total dissolved solid, biological oxygen demand, COD, electoral conductance, and turbidity and redox potential. The dissolved oxygen content was ranged from 6.3 to 7.4, 6.4 to 7.2, and 6.5 to 7.5 milligram per liter in the period of pre-monsoon, monsoon and post-monsoon time respectively. The highest dissolved oxygen was estimated as 8.84 during the monsoon season, where the lowest dissolved oxygen was recorded in post-monsoon season, which was 7.59. However, the annual mean dissolved oxygen was found as 7.59 with the variation of 1.05 SD. The sample of water having a standard level of biological oxygen demand in pre-monsoon season but slightly higher in the monsoon season and higher in the post-monsoon season. Found that electoral conductance EC was found 330 as the highest in the month of December, while the lowest EC was recorded as 87 in October month, with the annual mean of 230 with the variation of 87. However, the standard of EC of the river water was categorized as 700. In this study, the results showed within the range of favorable scale. Total dissolved solid TDS of the study sample was found 50 with a variation of 9.1 at the different locations of Brijghat. In case of its variations, it exhibit a wide range of variations as it was recorded as higher in the month of December, while in the case of lower case, it was recorded in the October month. The alkalinity of the sampled water was recorded as highest 120 mg per liter monsoon season and lower most value was recorded as 119 in the summer season. At the standard glance, the alkalinity range was categorized as 100 mg per liter. It shows the sample water have a higher alkalinity in comparison to the standard marked value. Here we have a table of correlation matrix of studied physiochemical parameters, and those parameters are pH, DO, TSS, TDS, BOD, COD, EC, turbidity and redox potential. We have tried to estimate the relationship between the variables studied in the study. Our correlation matrix was developed and its statistical analysis of the correlation matrix between the physiochemical parameters of the water sample obtained from the different location in Brijghat. A strong positive correlation matrix suggested that the variable studies, namely temperature, COD, EC, pH, TDS, TSS, BOD, COD, DO, redox potential, turbidity, colors are strongly correlated. A few variables also showed negative association with the parameters studied, such as DO and EC and redox, while BOD and COD with DO, it indicated that a certain set of water parameter determines the physiochemical properties and is likely to be influenced by their frequency and concentration. However, a small deviation is also observed in small sites, probably due to the presence of dumping by the domestic and industrial sectors. Here we proceed with the summary. Since we all know water is important for all animal and plant species to maintain their livelihood, and it is also an integrated part of creations of habitat that directly benefit the environment. Heavy metals are listed by recognized influence as a form of serious pollutants. Heavy metals have non-biodegradable, inherently poisonous properties and are able to be added to the food chain. In this research, various Ghat and Brijghat, Garhmukteshwar, Uttar Pradesh, India have been researched on improvements in the water quality. The physical contact of domestic and industrial waste in river water have altered the pH of the various ghat. In Brijghat, Uttar Pradesh in India, the rate of domestic dumping of waste is often destructive of floral and faunal diversity in different ghats. Longer days are more vulnerable to long sunshine and warmer conditions in summer, and night time in nearly shorter than in winter. The physiochemical feature of the observed river water shift thus during the long day and shorter night in the summer season. In winter season, the length of the day is short and the length of the night is longer because the winter's time is shorter than in the comparison of the summer. Turbidity has been estimated to play a major role in the determination of Brijghat water physical and chemical properties. Aquatic organism metabolic processes are determined by pH. Therefore, in the metabolism of marine organism, the concentration of pH has extraordinary significance. The pH level is also used as a sample water predictor. The pH value can easily detect the extent of the presence of toxin and waste material. We then tried to figure out how physical chemical characteristics shift with the passing of time. Next slide contains some references for the entire study. Here we have some references which were taken to complete the entire study.